And then I got to react to this other video. And this one really got me crazy because she really went for it. Problem is that I don't mind all this stuff, but what I do mind is when people act like their way is the highway. This is from a woman I don't know. I never met her. Her name is Politics Girl. So she's out here also going against misinformation. And why am I going to react to it? I'm going to react to it because, well, I think it'd be good content. Let's just be honest. And also because just the way this woman says this stuff is like everyone else. It's like, hey, man, you're wrong. Just give in. Stop with the misinformation. Stop with the conspiracies. Stop with all this stuff. But I feel like they're spouting the same thing. And the difference is that like people in the conspiracy realm and stuff are like, okay, maybe we're I mean, not all, but like they're like, oh, we're open to that idea. But these guys are dismissive, patronizing, rude, ignorant, think they're smarter than they are. She's here, and let's see what she says. This is a rant. I started watching it. I was so into it that I said, I got to start watching it because I'm going to get reactive to it.
We can't be mad like this at each other anymore. We are going through a national tragedy, and we're going through it hating each other.
Actually, world tragedy. So that's the first thing. You're wrong. So this is misinformation. It's not a national tragedy. If you want to be technical, because you're being technical, it's a global tragedy.
When Meatloaf died, so many people read that he was an anti-vaxxer and adamant about not protecting himself from COVID.
I don't know how Meatloaf died. I've only met him a couple of times. Very sweet guy. Fucking super legend. Very nice man. Very sweet guy. And I think he had a lot of medical problems. I don't know if he died of COVID. Maybe he had it when he died, but he had a lot of medical problems. So people are trying to pin this whole thing on COVID with Meatloaf. He's probably somebody that died of something else. And they're trying to like, oh, there's an example. He's been sick a long time. That's one person I'm not surprised when I heard that he was, in trouble because he's been sick a while. A lot of other people, I haven't heard they were sick. Meatloaf, I did.
And a lot of the reactions were understandably, so many people have done everything they can to protect themselves.
I don't think Meatloaf died of COVID. Let me just look it up. How did Meatloaf die? Let me just see right here. So Meatloaf is dead at 74. It doesn't say that he died of COVID. Let's just see. How did he die? Here it is. Meatloaf was seriously ill before he died at 74. Here's his reported cause of death. Saying goodbye to legend. It doesn't say how he died. So, but he did have a host of medical problems. So already to try to use him as like, he died because he wasn't vaccinated. I don't know enough, but I think that's very suspect to do.
That when someone who didn't protect themselves from COVID dies of COVID, it feels a bit like, wasn't it kind of inevitable?
Yeah, because just people that aren't vaccinated are just popping off. And the vaccinated people are just living and breathing through life. Yeah, the vaccinated people are just staying out of the hospital, not getting sick. This is just not true. This is just not true. Okay. She's like, okay, that condescending. I'm in a kitchen with a lot of clutter and I have a lot of like stuff on my refrigerator. Oh, it's no. Okay. People who are vaccinated are getting sick. People who are vaccinated are going to the hospital, and people who are vaccinated are also getting on the vent and going down. Okay. Just like unvaccinated. And there's a lot of reports that are saying that it's 50-50. I talked to a nurse at a very big hospital here. I'm not going to put it out. It's a top 3 hospital. Down the line, 50-50. Okay. So I want somebody to go to the video and go into a fucking emergency room and go, are you vaccinated? Are you not vaccinated? It's just, I'm so glad I'm vaccinated because I stayed out of the hospital. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to do another video. I had the shit. I didn't want the shit. I got scared. There was a day I was fucking scared. And then when I took the fucking regimen that everyone told me you shouldn't take, not everyone, but all the fucking people in the mainstream that shit on it, that's when I started feeling better. And I don't think if I had the V, maybe I would have been better. But if I didn't take it, would it have worked? Maybe I would have got through it. It wasn't great, but I never felt I was going to go to the hospital. I don't know what they could have done for me. So that's the know-it-all.
It's It's not really a tragedy, but it is.
No, it is a tragedy.
It is.
It is.
It is a tragedy.
Yeah, it is.
Not just because this particular person wrote some great songs, but because they probably didn't have to die. He listened to someone who lied to him about the virus, about vaccines, about masks, and he believed them and he died.
Masks, they say, don't really protect us. I wear them. I think, you know, if you got some kind of a good N95 or something, I definitely think there's something into that. If somebody sneeze on me, I'm definitely feeling but I smelled a fart on the plane the other day. So clearly, how much does it fucking work?
We've lost hundreds of thousands of Americans to disinformation and profit.
We've lost hundreds of thousands of Americans. I think she's Canadian. To disinformation and profit. Yeah, you could say that for your side too. To disinformation about how good the vaccine works and profit from selling the vaccine. That's what you could say. Not like because okay, here's my example. If you want people to take the vaccine who are hesitant, then you and people like you have to go on CNN every night and go, hey, will you do that story? This is a goddamn tragedy, and I'm sorry to say this, about the 3-year-old who just died when she was recently vaxxed. Have you heard about that? Oh, no, you haven't? Hey, will you do a story about that woman in England that can't stop shaking? She was just vaxxed. Like, if you show that stuff, pushing it to the dark corners of the internet and then labeling it and disowning it and shitting on it and saying it's disinformation. If you put that, I don't care if you have 8 positive stories and 2 negative ones, just show the negative. Since you never show the negative, we're suspicious because we're like, is this Publishers Clearinghouse? Like, what's the catch? So you're doing that. You're just shilling. I don't know why you are, ma'am, for this. Look, between Florida Surgeon General obfuscating and Fox News propaganda and Spotify choosing profit, Americans are dying because people are lying, and it's a national tragedy. Lady, so is sucking CNN. This is what's bullshit. This is completely bullshit. Spotify says a lot of truths. Fox says a lot of truths, and CNN also lies. So this is just another example of, like, I'm right, you're wrong. It's like, no, you're not being honest. So you're totally, right now, this woman is spreading disinformation because she's not talking about all the liars and she's not talking about all the side effects and showing that. Show everything. When you buy a cigarette, you can see the picture of the woman smoking Junior Slim, having a great time, but it has the warning. Put the warning out.
People who still believe the vaccine is bad, despite the fact that 9.8 billion doses have been given worldwide.
That's what fucking logic is that? 9.8 billion doses have been given worldwide. No shit. So let's just say, well, there's like 7 billion people on Earth, right? So let's just say 2 mostly boosted, right? So let's just half that. So let's just say 4B got the vax. It's more than half the Earth, okay? So just because 9.8 billion people stuck their arm out, or 4 billion people, I gotta go, oh, that's great. Oh, yay. 4 billion people did it. Okay, so it can't be bad. That is I'm going to try to be respectful. That is the most that is the most non-thought provoking logic I've heard. Like, that's exactly what, people are easily manipulated, easily sheep, scared, peer pressured. There's many experiments showing that people will just give in with groupthink. So yeah, of course there's 8. I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised there's not more, because there's a lot of people out there that don't stop and think about things. So yeah, so you're just giving a lot of credit to people who, sorry, that's just not good logic. Tons of people have unprotected sex and get someone pregnant. It doesn't mean it's smart. They're dumb. They're just dumb. Like, how hard is it to get a condom or to fucking take a birth control pill? Like, it's not hard. It's 2022, right? Or get the morning after pill for $50, right? Or, a dude, fucking be responsible. Don't have drunk sex. Like, whatever. I'm not putting it on one person or the other. But, what I'm trying to tell you is tons of people get pregnant all the time. I'm sorry. And it can be prevented with fucking logic. So this is, unlogical. Tons of people drink too much and then drive their car. Doesn't mean it's good. People make mistakes all the time. Just because a big group, it just means it's a big dumb mistake. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it's fucking fishy. It ain't fucking perfect. And each day the onion is getting peeled.
9.8 billion. If there was a problem with the vaccines, we would.
Oh my God! Fuck, lady, there's tons of problems. Go on the VAERS, and then people discredit it. Go on fucking the internet. Go talk to people. Go. There's tons of reports. There's things called My Bad Vaccine Story. They suppress it all. They suppress it all. Cindy Lou Who, like, they suppress it. Like, we would know. Of course you would know. No, you wouldn't, because there's tons of people that do know, and they call us crazy. What do you think there is, man? Why do you think there's a convoy of truckers? We would know. What are you talking about? Have you said anything? Have you said, oh, this person got it and it was fucked up? I posted a young comic, a very young, vivacious, healthy, young, mid-20s woman who had a terrible reaction, got through it after 2 days, but was like fucking literally frozen. So there. Oh, she's okay now. Hope to God, right? But why isn't the LA Times writing about her going, hey, so what happened? That's kind of crazy. You were a fucking statue for 2 fucking days, like you couldn't move? Because that's true. And that's a baby reaction compared to some of the shit I've heard about.
People are dying because there are people who still refuse to wear masks, despite the fact.
People are dying for all types of reasons. People are dying because they have COVID. There are people dying because they have multiple comorbidities, and then they had COVID when they died. There's people dying who have taken the vaccine who are also dying. I don't know. People are dying because people aren't wearing masks. I fucking wear my mask everywhere. You can ask anyone. And I got the shit. I don't know where I got it. I back traced it. There wasn't one outbreak. That Omicron is super, whatever it is. What's the word? Catchy. So it's just, again, I'm having problems with this woman because I feel like she acts like she just knows it all. And it's like, you can act like you do, but just be open to other things. And I'm just getting that vibe that, nah.
That this is an airborne respiratory illness.
Yes.
And we know that masks cut down on the droplets the virus travels in and limits the amount you can absorb.
I
the
believe
better
that.
your mask, the better the fit, the better protection. But we have governors out here cutting mask mandates and courts banning vaccine mandates. And people.
The mandates won't last because there's too many people that don't want it. And if we hit herd immunity, which, in the history of our world, we usually do. I don't know. If we don't, then we're in for something.
Threatening school boards with guns who are just trying to keep their children safe while they learn.
Okay, well, the whole school shit is stupid anyway. It's fucking stupid. All these kids, the curriculums of schools pretty much stink. School's reactive. It's not creative. And anything you can go learn in school, you can learn on fucking Google. That's the truth. You can get mad at that. This is like, I don't know, this lady's like that. Like, who gives a fuck about school? School is for one thing only, social. That's it. School is going to be changed so much soon. And there's a lot of bullshit in schools. So, and what do you need to go to school for? To get a job in what? By the time your fucking 5th grader gets out of school, there's not going to be an electrical engineer job. It's called AI.
There was just a huge march in Washington in which a Kennedy compared vaccine mandates to the Holocaust. This is a disaster. An absolutely avoidable disaster created by people who want to keep the virus going because it makes the other team look bad, people who want to keep the conflict up because it brings them clicks and ratings.
I don't think anyone wants to keep the virus going. I think there are people that want clicks and ratings, but I think you also want it too. But I also think that there's a lot of people that just don't agree. So they're like, no, I'm going to stand up to you.
And people who continue to lie because they can fundraise off the lie.
Fundraise off the lie. I hope you're talking about the people you support too. Like, I mean, Joe Rogan said it. The virus could have been created in a lab is, I think, on the cover of Newsweek this week. I mean, you have to check it.
And we are losing our lives, our livelihoods, and our faith in our fellow countrymen because of it. And that is an absolute tragedy. So if you lost someone to this virus, I am so sorry. And if you lost someone unvaccinated to this virus, I am so sorry. Because they didn't just die of COVID, they were killed by deceit. And one of these days, we're going to have to hold those liars accountable because it didn't have to be like this. Take care of each other. Stay well. Stay safe. No matter how we feel, we're all in this together.
Really, it doesn't feel like we are because it feels like you know everything and you're condescending. So stay well, stay safe. What about, did you say anyone who died who's vaccinated? You did the right thing and it didn't work out? Like, look, it's, I liked that the lady was trying to do it. I just came across her and I was motivated by it because I just think that it's like, show all the sides. You didn't talk about anyone on the left lying. You didn't talk about how big pharma is pushing the vax. You didn't talk about how Fauci was doing gain of function. You didn't talk about how everybody says Fauci is involved in this getting money. You didn't talk about how RFK has done boatloads of research. You took one of the things that you said, which was clickbait, and you clickbait RFK. He says amazing things. Okay, he said something bad. He apologized for it. It was, okay, he was in the moment. But like, live with each other, forgive each other, forgive these people that you're saying it, and then talk about how MSNBC spreads misinformation. Talk about CNN spreads misinformation. If you say that and talk about the people that are dying, talk about the Israel rates, talk about all of this other stuff. If you do, we will listen to you. If not, you're in a very nice echo chamber in your kitchen, and you can stay in your kitchen. But you're not going to get people on board like me. And you may not care, but we're always going to have this problem until you come out of your kitchen and say, this is bullshit and this is bullshit. And you know what? Sometimes I believe bullshit and sometimes I spout bullshit. Once you present yourself as not a perfect patty, 3 P's, don't present yourself as a perfect patty, we will listen. Until then, au revoir. That's it, guys. My last podcast here. I'm going to do it. I'm going to find a small studio in Wuhan, do jokes to Wuhan Chuckle Hut, and we're going to fucking figure this out. All I need to make is X amount to keep my podcast paying for itself. Love you. Subscribe. They're coming because they say some of my shit was banned. I saw that I wasn't getting subscribers on the day when I put controversial ones in, but it shouldn't be controversial. So love you. Subscribe, man. Comment. Help pass this around. Unless you don't like it.